I watched an interesting interview featuring Denzel Washington's two sons, John David and Malcolm. You may know John David from working as an actor in films like Black Klansman or Tenet, but I didn't know about Malcolm and that he was a filmmaker. This interview was basically like these two sons talking about like what it means for them to be in the industry as well as supporting each other and to have a father like Denzel. But then they happened to mention a new film that they had coming out on Netflix called The Piano Lesson. The Piano Lesson is a play by August Wilson. So I had never read The Piano Lesson, but I am familiar with August Wilson's play Fences. I read the play in school and then have seen different adaptations on TV, etc. I've never seen it in a play Broadway or anything. I decided that I wanted to watch the film. Before I watched it, I wanted to read it. So I got me a copy of this version of August Wilson's play has a foreword by Toni Morrison. She does a really great job in the foreword. And so like at a high level, this film and play is about this conflict between these two siblings. So Bernice lives in the north, and then her brother Boy Willie still lives in the south. And so Boy Willie basically does like odd jobs, like kind of works on like at different farms, like doing kind of little different jobs, whatever. And so basically there's this tension point where there's an opportunity for Boy Willie to buy the land that his family previously worked on during slavery. And to be able to buy it, he needs to be able to try to sell the piano that belonged to their parents. And so he's trying to convince Bernice to sell this piano. And then there's like a lot of tension between this piano and whether or not like Bernice will really sell it. And so I wanted to pull up a few things that Toni Morrison said in the foreword that I think is important to note, which is that number one, all of August Wilson's projects are seeded to address African American life introspectively. So that means that we're not in a dialogue with white people in these plays. Like we're in a dialogue with Black people on stage, in a dialogue with other Black people. But then the other thing that she kind of flags is that what's interesting is that he actually excludes white characters altogether. So like you are really seeing the tightness of like Black life and Black community. So I'm not that far into the play at all, but I have gotten to this point where Boy Willie has now come up, woken up Bernice and their uncle in the middle of the night. Basically, him and his friend come up with the truck for the watermelon they're trying to sell. And everybody's like, "Where'd you get this truck? Where'd you get this watermelon?" Like, just the normal like, "What do you got going on? Like, are you running from the police? What's happening, etc." There's this point where Bernice says that she sees a ghost. And she thinks the ghost belongs to the family, the previous plantation owner family. And I was just like, I'm right at this point, and I'm like, is she making this up, or is she really seeing this ghost?